Well, we're joined now by David Stanley, who was a friend of Sir David for more than 20 years, founder of a disability charity, the Music Man Project, which Sir David also supported. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I really appreciate it. Can you tell us what kind of a person was David Amess?
Oh, gosh, he was a larger-than-life character, a true gent, with such passion. And, as you said, I've known him for a very, very long time and considered him a dear friend because he always supported me. He used to say to me, David, what can I do to help you? What can I do to help your charity, your students? Because he knew I had big ambitions for them, but he also knew that alone, there's no way I could do that, without support. So he was a man who believed in people, and my gosh, he believed in Southend and everything that we stood for. But he also kind of put the money where his mouth was. He really went for it, and he did, campaign, promote, raise funds, those things that only a Sir David Amess MP can do. And you'll be surprised at how effective he was. But a lot of that was all behind closed doors. It's not something that we publicly talk about, but he was just a terrific man.
And what struck me reading about his life and the tributes that have been coming in is just how many good causes he supported: animal rights, the environment. He was chair of the APPG on endometriosis, and of course was campaigning for Southend to become a city as well. Is there anything in particular that you think would be a fitting tribute to him?
Well, for Southend to become a city would be a fitting tribute. I sat as vice chair of the committee, beside Sir David, as we tried to, proceed with our bid for city status. So I'm fully aware of his hopes for Southend as a city. But beyond that, I think it's just to continue his work. I've been talking to obviously a lot about this today and yesterday evening, and it's just been such a privilege to be able to talk about what Sir David stood for and how he was a true constituency MP. He was never happier than when he was promoting Southend people, Southend charities, and not the obvious ones. You've talked about a few there. My charity, it was a small learning disabled charity, who, thanks to Sir David, we have managed to perform at the London Palladium, at the Royal Albert Hall, perform to members of the royal family, tour the UK. We now have Music Man projects all across the UK and some around the world. And that's thanks really to his belief in people with learning disabilities. So I think we've just got to carry on somehow and give him a legacy of a city and of all the impact, and keep putting Southend on the map in his name.
This may not be a question that you're able to answer, and by all means tell me if so, but did he have any sense that he was in any danger in the lead up to what happened yesterday?
Not to me. I had no sense of that. He was, when I last spoke to him, he was in great form. He was enthusiastic about what we were going to do next as a charity, and the big issue of the time was the city status, locally, and he was just planning for that. So I didn't get any sense of that. He was just Sir David, and it's this issue. I have had so many conversations with him, just sat next to him, with other people, with members of the public, with audiences at events and receptions. And it was a free access, these things. There was just a chance. And that's, in a sense, why he was so effective and so popular and known by so many people, because there wasn't any barriers. He wasn't a career MP trying to get onto the ministerial ladder. He just seemed to be delighted to be an MP for Southend.
David Stanley there, who was a friend of Sir David Amess for over 20 years and is also founder of the disability charity, the Music Man Project, speaking very warmly about his friend there, who's